And through an amazing encounter, he was able to pray with a monk inside of a temple there in Lhasa, Tibet. And the monk couldn't speak English. My father could not speak Tibetan, but he just prayed. And he noticed that the monk was trying to understand what he was saying. So my dad reached in and pulled out of his pocket Christian material, a Christian tract in the Tibetan language, handed it to that monk, and the tract said, "There is a God who has a son whose name is Jesus, who died for you." Well, now picture this in Lhasa, Tibet, in the Potala Palace, praying with a monk and handing him that information. So the monk reads through this tract, prays the prayer at the end of it, and begins to weep, just begins to cry inside of that monastery. So my dad said he did the only thing that he knew he could do. He reached over and just hugged that elderly monk. The monk stood up, composed himself, put that tract inside of his robe, and walked off. And my dad was sitting there, as he tells the story, saying, "Wow, this must be why I came to Tibet." But lo and behold, God had something much larger in store. After he walked away, a tall Han Chinese man walked directly to my father. This man was dressed in a nice suit. He had glasses on. And he said in English, "I saw you care for that man. Who are you?" Now you have to understand, in the 90s and today, it's not lawful to hand that type of literature to a monk or to witness Jesus publicly like that. So seeing this official-looking man, my father said, "Well, no offense, but who are you?" And he said in English, "I'm Wang Fuchun, the international director."
That's unbelievable. This is Mark Geppert and Matt Geppert. They're sort of people say, "Hey, can you help us with that?" And they'll say, "Yeah, sure, we can do that. We don't know anything about it. We don't have money to do that, but we'll do it." And last I heard, CPAC had operated on 1,000 kids with this congenital heart disease, operated on them. And at one point I was asking Mark, Matt's dad, for advice on should I accept for Light at the Lighthouse donations from people who are not Christians. And he said, "Are you kidding?" He said, "I go get donations from Muslim movie producers so I can hire Jewish cardiovascular surgeons to operate on Buddhist kids in the name of Jesus."
Yeah.
And he says, after we operate on these kids, the majority of the families become Christian. They're so grateful for us saving their kids, right? Now, forward, the next phase of this story I think is kind of cool, involves mainly Matt, because, you know,